And welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines. So, what's going on, Mike? Well, let me announce first that we're going to have a guest on our next podcast. All right. Hopefully, it won't be like the last time we had that guest, Ken, that never showed. But we should
Ken
have.
actually had a good reason.
What's that?
Ken actually had a good reason.
I believe he did, but you never told me what it was.
Well,
if you don't want to say it, don't worry about it. If he doesn't want to say
it. There was an event in his family.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So I don't want to go into the details.
We don't have to. Okay. All right. So I listened when you called me before. I was just listening to the tail end of J.D. Vance's speech at the Munich conference.
Oh, he tore him apart.
What a great speech that was, man. That's one of the best political speeches I've ever heard. Easy. Yeah, you could have forced me to throw that coffee out through my nose.
And that would probably increase our number of followers.
Perhaps. Okay, so all right, we'll be talking to John, who is a former police officer, and we will have some questions for him. And we hope that I'm thinking of doing a live stream actually, and maybe having people, send questions in. Well, see if I can figure out how to do that.
Okay? I don't think you should experiment with a guest. I think that's something that we can do with our audience. And if it flubs, then it flubs. But I don't want to flub with a guest.
Okay. All right, we'll do that. Let's see. What else? There was so much I wanted to talk about. But I've heard so much stuff today on different podcasts and everything that my mind is swimming with information, and I can't seem to even grasp any of the pieces I wanted to talk about.
The news reporters are constantly saying they're getting news faster than they can report it. Trump and all of the people that have been recommended by Trump and now hold position are moving at the speed of light. They are disrupting the status quo and the corrupt swamp, for lack of a better word.
Oh, they're squealing like stuck pigs.
They're also they're running out. I don't know what they're going to do, because desperation can lead to some terrible things, and they have proven themselves to be capable of anything. They tried to kill him more than once, so clearly murder isn't the problem. So, I just say, just remain vigilant. We're not out of this yet.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, and things are being revealed that what was it? I heard somebody talking about how Representative Luna, who's in charge of the Kennedy investigation revelations, she said that there were two shooters, not just one. And that Lee Harvey also was a patsy, as we've all suspected. Mm-hmm. And Gutfeld had a good line on that. He said, they kept this secret for 60 years, and all it took was a woman to find out, and in 10 minutes, the whole world knew.
That's pretty good. They also found that there's 3 million people that are receiving Social Security benefits over 103 years old. One of them,
3 million?
Over 3 million.
Over 3 million. Oh my God, I didn't know it was that many.
But they're not sure if supposedly the money's going out, but they're not sure if the people are getting it. Because once you're like one of the people that supposedly was getting it is 150 years old. Yeah. I think we would know that person. That person would not require Social Security. They would be housed in some sort of golden shrine.
Yeah, right. Oh, also a lot of Medicare payments are going to people overseas.
The biggest argument that these numbskulls have left, I mean, they're running out of it's kind of like if there was a dartboard with accusations and they're throwing it at the dartboard, and now they're saying Musk was not elected by the people. No shit, asshole.
Neither was Biden, for that matter. But if you want to get less controversial about
Neither
it,
was Melania.
neither was Kamala. What?
No, yeah. No, neither was Kamala. She wasn't. She didn't get elected to run.
He never got one single electoral vote, not one, or not even what do they call it? A vote from the party. Not one single vote. Okay.
Did you see the most recent thing I heard talking to these people about, of course, the injustice and the wrongness of the Trump regime? She looked drunk.
That's the one I saw a quick excerpt, and they were talking about how she looks like she's definitely drunk here.
Serious case of word salad there. I think she was drunk through the entire administration.
It's quite possible because she's
a nut.
An idiot.
Yeah, she's a freaking nut.
No, you're insulting nuts now. No, she's an idiot.
Okay. I'm insulting men because we should not relate. Kamala Harris should not be associated with anybody's scrotum.
So anyway. Well, that's how she got famous, was associating herself with somebody's scrotum.
Yes, but and she reiterated it by also blowing the election. But anyway, but the thing is that the news is insane, and I understand $170 billion was sent to the Ukraine, and according to Zelensky, only $70 billion was ever received. Where did the other $100 billion go?
Exactly. That went back into pockets of politicians here in the States. Politicians and possibly generals or whatever. I mean, they're going to be auditing did you see all the uproar of the Democrats because we want to audit the IRS? How dare they? Meanwhile, Biden tried to hire 87,000 young people to audit us, the American people. That's okay. But we can't audit them to make sure that the money that they're collecting is going to where it's supposed to go. Meanwhile, they found out, did you hear the latest about we don't know what time period this is. Okay. It could be 10 years, could be 50 years, could be 5 years. But I'm still waiting to hear details on this. Apparently, Musk's committee or whatever, his team, has uncovered that that there are $4.7 trillion that have gone missing that they can't account for. Trillion.
Yeah,
not billion, not million. Trillion.
Sure that is involved with Social Security.
Probably Social Security, Medicare, and
USAID. I mean, it's like what, $43 billion. I mean, it all adds up.
$43 billion. They were giving out $50 billion a year. That's $1 billion a week that USAID was handing out.
Oh wow!
And we don't know where it was all going yet. And I hope to heaven that the people who are making the biggest fuss about it, Schumer, Pelosi, all the Maxine Waters, that clown, that predator's mother. I hope some of it gets traced back to their pockets. Musk was it Musk or Biondi who are going to open an investigation as to how people on a salary of under $200,000 a year are worth tens of millions.
Yes. Actually, that question was asked in the hearings. I forget. Yeah. The thing is, all the people that are accusing the appointees of Trump are basically the biggest scoundrels in the country.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Now,
the people who are screaming the most are the most guilty.
let me tell you a funny story. Today I was at a store and the carriages that you put your stuff in,
Yeah,
everybody's got a different name for it, like the baskets that you push.
carriages or
Yeah. So the thing is that
shopping cart.
shopping cart. There you go. So I take out a shopping cart and there's a woman nearby. She's vintage. She's like in her 60s, and I go ahead and go, oh, this isn't working. And she goes, yeah, the one I had yesterday had square wheels. She was joking. So anyway, I said, don't worry about it. If the next thing Musk is going to do is make sure all these carriages hover and float in the air, so you won't have to worry about wheels. She goes, well, I hope he floats for sure. And I was surprised that she was like, being bitchy. So I went ahead and instead of like defending Musk, I said, yeah, that would be wonderful if he could float. Now that I think about it. And I left her that way. Thanks, sweetheart. That's a great idea.
Yeah, these Karens have no idea how easy it is to just put them down. Oh,
Oh,
yesterday I was watching a channel on Instagram. What the hell was it? Something about something Karens, watching the Karens or whatever, and there was so many of them where they're just sticking their nose where they shouldn't, and arguing with people about, oh, we don't have an HOA here in this community, but you can't wash your car in the driveway for more than 10 minutes. And he's saying, we don't have an HOA here. He goes, I know, but we have a club here. It's kind of a club, and we respect each other and so forth. And you're breaking the rules. We know. I know you just moved in, but you have to stop this. And the guy's like, "What the fuck out of here?"
yeah.
And then another one. She was insisting that the guy had, with his squeegee, had caused a scratch in her railing outside her door. He's denying it. Finally, he gave it, and he's taping it and laughing. He said, "You know what? I'm going to give you the $20 just to shut you up."
Wow. On the home front, I weighed myself in, and my official weigh dates are on Tuesdays because that's the day I start my workout for the week.
Okay.
I weighed in, and I've lost in the past 6 weeks a total of 13 pounds taking collagen.
Cool.
So I was talking to one of the personal trainers, and it seems like everybody knew about this but me. You knew about it, you bastard. Anyway, the thing
I told you over a year ago I've been taking collagen.
yeah, well, I thought you were like vain. But anyway, the thing is that yeah, it's
Why? Do you think it's helping?
not enough.
There you go.
The thing is that it's doing well for me. Again, check out a couple of the YouTube videos on how to do it properly because you can actually do it wrong, and then you end up looking like Roy. Oh, that's too good.
No, it's not. But
Oh,
Mike, Mike doesn't have any other kind of humor he can
that's true.
fall back on since we got rid of all those. What were they called? The happy thoughts. Oh, which reminds me. You know what? I still haven't found those stupid. Oh, there they are. Wait a minute. I
Oh
just
God,
found them.
it's going to suck.
Of course, it's going to suck. It's an all-American dad joke. It has to suck.
Oh no, not that.
Yes,
Okay.
we haven't
Go.
done any in a few days because I couldn't find the cards.
Right.
All right, so here we go. This is stupid. All right, here we go. The All American Dad joke of the day. Published by Table Fund, by the way. I'm trying to give them credit so we don't get sued for, what is it, infringement or anything. Why
Really?
did the cashier rip money in half?
I know.
They were asked to break a bill.
Oh, very good. Here, I got one for you.
Go ahead.
When is a penis not a penis? When it's a foot. Now that's a dad joke,
Yeah, that's pretty fucking stupid.
but you laughed.
Yeah,
Um,
you'd already told this 3 times
yeah, but it's funny every time.
to you.
So I'm still I'm still. You know what I've been telling people? I've
What have
been
you been
telling
telling people?
people that um uh I've been going up to people and going, I see you got a nice tan now that it's the golden age. There's so many people that are just happy, happy. And it's amazing how many young people come up to me because if the audience doesn't realize it, I wear a MAGA hat pretty much every day, and it draws people out. And it like today, this cat came up to me, and we spent at least a half an hour talking, and so much so I had to cut it off. I was like going, I'm done. I'm just done. It's like, oh my god, it's like,
Now you know how I feel when I'm trying to get off the conversation with you. Huh?
excuse me. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh, by the way, on your request, I borrowed the English version of The Office.
Okay, and did you
Nope.
watch?
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
No,
Uh,
not good.
he
I
is,
just told you it wasn't my request. I just told you what I had heard that the English
I like
version
it,
was better.
but the thing is that he,
He's
I
also
thought
a bit
it was going to be more acceptable because of the fact that it's British. So there's this whole culture thing that you
okay.
get to experience another culture. No, he was really annoying, really annoying. And I'm not saying it wasn't funny. It's just that I had to deal with the British culture and him being annoying at the same time. It was too much.
Well, did he use the pejorative "you cunt" at any point?
Now, I don't think it was that kind of a show. I think it was a family show. It's just that there's a lot of terminology that they used that was clearly British that I had to imagine what it meant instead of knowing what it meant naturally. So I the timing of the jokes were lost to me.
You know what I used to like to watch back in the '80s, and unfortunately, it was always on PBS. But uh, they had some British sitcoms there, like "Are You Being Served?" which is about the people working in a department store
Right,
in
right.
England. Then there was another one. I didn't see that one too much. It was about a little grocery store or butcher shop or something. I can't remember what the name of that one was. That wasn't around too long ago. But let's see. And I started watching these because I was watching Monty Python on Sunday nights at 10:30
Right.
back then. And I think I started watching Monty Python in the late '70s, actually, and I watched them religiously every Sunday.
Yeah, this is not an English production. It's I believe it's an American production, but it might be co-produced. I don't know. Called
With
Sturbridge, which is
who?
Sturbridge.
I've
I
heard
think that's
the
how you pronounce his name. There was a guy in the turn of the century, 1890s, blah, 1900s, who was an American that built a department store in London, and it's a very famous department store. And it's a story about this guy, and um, the actor, you've seen him in a number of things. It's very good, but I've never seen him in a leading role like this. And so it was very, very interesting, and it was also a very volatile period. The women's suffrage and all this other stuff going on, and
uh,
World War I. So it was a very good series, but I wouldn't call it a British production.
Sturbridge. I'm gonna check that out. One
Actually,
one thing that I've started watching recently. What?
you know what I liked a lot? That's definitely a British production.
What?
Is Travel Man with
Never
I
heard of it.
think his name is Stephen Iowati. He's I think he's Black Indian, and he's just hysterical. He was in the It crowd. You've
Never
probably
saw
seen
it.
him. I think it was in The Watch, which was a comedy about a bunch of people that are actually protecting the neighborhood. They're all members of the Watch.
Again, something else I've never seen. All British comedies?
No, the last two I mentioned were actually, American made. That's why I
Never heard
mentioned.
of them. I don't
But
have regular TV. Were they on the networks?
the movies.
There were movies or they were series?
Well, Travel Man, I believe, is still on uh, Prime TV.
Okay,
You also
so it's one of the alphabet networks, right?
what? I said Prime TV.
Yeah, probably ABC, CBS, or NBC.
I think I don't know who made it, but it's on Prime. And
Okay.
Gadget Man is also with Mr. Iowati.
Oh, wait,
And
when you say Prime, you're talking about Amazon Prime?
yeah.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry.
So the thing is that he's also in Gadget Man, which is, as far as I'm concerned, not as good, but also entertaining.
Okay.
I like Travel Man because it's actually educational while it's being funny. Because what he does is he invites these people, like Paul Rudd. He invited Paul Rudd to visit him in some exotic city somewhere in Europe, and they spend basically 3 days there, and they basically walk you through some of the highlights of the city, and it's very entertaining. But the thing is, the people that he invites are so creative and so clever. They're very, very funny.
All right. Okay, cool. No, it's something akin to Seinfeld's. What was it?
Coffee with
Coffee
coffee,
with
cars and
coffee and
coffee.
cars. That's it.
Coffee.
Yeah, Comedians and cars. That was pretty good for mostly. I did not enjoy because I just couldn't stand the guest. The one he did with Barack Obama.
I don't think I saw that one.
You're not missing anything. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
kiss ass to Obama.
Well, that's
But
what
hey.
you do when you're in the industry. He's, president and all.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's how long ago it was on. My God, I didn't. I just realized that it's been at least 9 years since that episode aired. At least.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
But yeah, it's oh my God. So Trump and Putin and Zelensky's crying because he wants to be part of the conversation and all this other stuff.
Well, apparently, I heard. I don't know if it's true that he was invited to come. When did Trump and the others meet? Yesterday or today?
Sure they have met, because I think they sent they may have sent Vance there or
That's okay. All right, then maybe that's it. Zelensky wasn't invited. Neither was Putin. So everybody in the world was invited except the two countries that are at war.
Well, I don't know all the particulars. I think what Trump is probably going to do is he's going to feel each of them out separately before.
Oh, yeah, he can't have them in the same room to deal with. And what happened is, I heard that Zelensky was invited to go the next day after the general meeting.
Well, yeah.
And Putin and Trump are apparently may meet in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, well, the thing is, Zelensky wanted to be there, except he had auditions in Hollywood that day.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I've heard about the money since Valentina is plugged into.
Though.
What?
You didn't ask me what the auditions were for.
What? Playing the piano with his dick?
No. They're remaking the Francis the Talking Mule movies, and they want him to be the mule.
Oh, I thought it was maybe he was going to do a remake of The Peacemaker. Okay. Now, Valentina, since she's plugged into the Russian news and everything,
right.
She had said a long time ago that, and she listens to the Ukrainian stuff and all. that Ukraine was claiming for over 2 years now or 3 years that they weren't getting all that money that Biden was saying they were getting.
Right.
Now, Biden kind of half explained that 2 years ago when he said that a lot of it was the money wasn't really going there. It was coming. It was going to American weapons manufacturers. So therefore, it was here. But that kind of makes sense because Zelensky's been saying for years, no, we didn't get all this money. And now they're saying, oh, you received 200 and something $billion. He said, no, we didn't receive more than 70 million. That's all we got. Yeah.
Well,
So,
the thing is that we know that Ukraine is a money laundering country. Okay. We know that the Biden regime was basically a criminal family. Okay. So guess what? Yeah, you're not going to get all the money. You're going to get something because they have to put on a show, but you're not going to get it all. And God, the question is, who gets it? Who gets all that money? For all I know, half of it went to Soros.
well, we do know that USAID gave Soros, I think it was $27 million, which was used, or $1 billion, which was used to fund his campaign to hire prosecutors all over the United States to fuck up our country. Okay.
Well, I don't know if this was a joke or whether this was news, but one of the reporters said that, or one of the captions were that the money that was going to Soros via U.S. aid has been stopped.
Yeah, because it's already been spent though.
It's frozen though. No, the funds were there, but they're frozen now.
I don't know. I hope so. But I think they were talking about in the past that he's already gotten 27 billion.
Well,
So
he's
maybe what he was going to get is go. Oh, did you hear about that jerk off at Treasury who ordered people before? This was about 2 weeks ago. He ordered them not to stop any payments.
Yeah.
Keep going with the payments till they got till they were forced to stop.
It wasn't. That was a general command for all agents.
Yeah.
So no agent was to deny anything that was requested.
Paid immediately.
And here's the thing: your job is to determine whether or not a person is supposed to get money, and you're given the orders. Oh, it doesn't matter who comes to you, give them the money, and you go, oh, that makes sense. That's perfectly sensible. Where's my
I had more time to know, but I would have put in an application for a few million for myself.
You wouldn't get any money. There'd be a picture of you on the wall. Wait a second.
I would say this is the Fight Trump Till the Death committee.
Well,
they would have given me more than I asked.
This is what they would tell you. They'd say, "I'm sorry, sir. We were holding the money for you, but we need to have another transgender theater in Yugoslavia."
Oh, I saw a video today. I'd seen it before already. It looked like this woman when the sound wasn't on. It looked like this woman. She's got this plastic container with some red dye or red paint or I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
On the what's that? Yeah, and then when I got the sound going, it's a guy. It's a tranny. Now that guy, because it was a woman, that guy when he tried to attack the other guy who was bigger than him, I should say. That guy, if that guy had clocked it, I think it would have been in his rights.
I think once you decide to call yourself a transgender, I think anything goes. There's no holds barred.
I don't give a shit if they want to be trans, if they want to think that they want to live in that fantasy that they're the other sex. Fine. Just one, don't involve the fucking kids in it. Two, don't make me call you Miss something if I see that you're clearly a guy. Okay? You're not going to force me to do that. Now, if it's on a one-on-one basis, like I'm working with somebody and they said, look, just call me Evelyn. Okay. All right, Evelyn. I mean, to me, it's a joke, but okay, we work together. Okay. I'm not going to cause problems for that. But if somebody asks something like, "Hey, who did you give that job to?" "Oh, I gave it to Evelyn. Ask him."
I give it to them. I give them to they. They.
No,
I
I
give them
wouldn't do it. Them, they, them, my ass. Shit.
hello, this is they.
Oh, and then there was another one say, no, she was screaming that they're not my preferred pronouns. They are my pronouns. You will use my pronouns. They are not my preferred pronouns. They are my pronouns. No, asshole. Okay, you're a screeching Karen. And
No,
I think, this one was wanted to be a boy. This one thinks she's a boy.
You don't talk to them. Okay.
Yeah, that's the best thing. That's the best thing.
Stay away from me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So what else? Oh, the price of eggs is up really high, man. Really high.
Not in Pensy.
What?
Not in Pensy.
Not in Pensy. Oh, I also heard that there's a place down in Tennessee. Okay, the city. It's like Scott Adams was saying. Or was it Scott Adams or was it? Well, somebody on some podcast was saying that what happened is you've got this this rural area in Tennessee. The guy was saying, we don't have an egg shortage here. All the chickens are producing, and people are putting out boxes of of eggs on the roadside, and you take the eggs you want, and you pay. They're selling them for, I think, $2.99 a dozen, which is actually a high price for what it used to be. But they're selling for $2.99 a dozen, and it's an honor system. So you take whatever you take, you pay for. You leave the money there, and the money's sitting there until they come and get it. So yes. This is a much better. And meanwhile, we're in the civilized cities here, right? You can't do that. You put a thing out, and they'll steal it in a heartbeat.
I have experience working in Manhattan. Some real generosity from people, but yeah. The problem is that the population is so large. There's got to be at least one asshole in that group. It's just a matter of mathematics,
Oh yeah, of course.
Another thing is, I believe in Tennessee, there was something about a transgender Jesus. They did somebody did an art thing, and it was a black transgender Jesus. And what happened was the college got a bunch of phone calls. All of a sudden, they go, "What are you talking about? We didn't know that we didn't know that was their project, and that was the end."
I heard that, and I saw the picture of this person, shaved head, really close shaved head.
Yeah, the Jesus Christ Superstar thing.
Yes, she's going to play Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, she is a black lesbian Jesus Christ, because you got to be lesbian, especially since you're bald. It's like the funny thing is that in World War II, if a woman was known to sleep with the enemy, they would shave her head.
Well, so that was after the war. After the Germans were gone, they shaved in France. They shaved the women's head.
Yeah, she was a collaborator, and the thing is that it was one of the most horrific things that could happen to a woman to have her hair shaved. And now you can't get a decent fucking haircut amongst a dozen of them. So it's things have gone to shit. But see, the other thing is, RFK isn't just focusing on physical health. He's also focusing on mental health too. Yeah. So that's going to be part of it, because he's interested in saving the children. And
you see how the media is lying about him, calling him an anti-vaxxer? He's not anti-vax. He's anti-COVID vax, but he's not an anti-vaxxer. What he wants is for the tests to be made public, so you can have conformed and sent before you allow these doctors to put anything in the veins of your children.
The COVID solution that they put into your body was not a vaccine. It was an RMA, I believe.
It was a treatment.
Yeah, it's actually, as I understand it, what it did is it genetically changed your cells so they would produce certain proteins that would supposedly fight
Spike protein.
COVID, but instead, what it did was produce blood clots, and it actually never got rid of COVID. So, let me take this vaccine, which is a weaker
33
form,
times.
which is a weaker form of the whatever it is that I'm vaccinating, and my body
That's
gets to
every
fight the
vaccine.
form, and I get stronger. So now those antibodies are in my. Well, what is this thing that? It does it stop me from getting sick? No. Does it stop me from giving it to somebody? No. Then what the fuck does it do?
It helps us in our push to get rid of people.
Oh my God! What a
Even the polio vaccine, the measles vaccine, the mumps vaccine. You know, when those things came out, those diseases were already on the decline.
yes.
So who knows if it was the vaccines or nature taking care of those things.
Well, as I understand it, the polio there was 1,000 kids that took the vaccine. They had a nickname for them, and that's when they determined that it was safe. So 1,000 kids, you throw it in 1,000 kids.
Yeah, they call them the lucky charms, the lucky kids.
We don't want to put it on and give it to animals because that would be inhumane. We'll throw it into a bunch of kids.
Wait, that asshole Bill Gates, he went to, I think it was in Kenya, and he was giving vaccines there. Kids were developing polio after his fucking vaccine. Okay? And other diseases. All right, that guy is a menace. That guy should be executed, period. He's a fucking genocidal maniac, just as is Fauci. And that Dr. Birx, that bitch, the same thing. She finally admitted that, yeah, they knew that the vaccine wasn't going to stop anything. They knew it, okay? But they were making tons of fucking money because they had a piece of that. Fauci, years before the COVID thing, he was already getting money from Moderna. He had Moderna come up with the vaccine several years before before the advent of COVID.
The inventor of that process that they forced people to take spoke out against it.
Oh, you're talking about the test.
Yeah, the thing is, he said, I made this process. This is not what I wanted to do. This is wrong. And that was it. They shut him up.
Oh, he happened to die too.
A lot of people happen to die.
I forget his name, but he made such a fuss that all of a sudden he passed away.
It
Just
must
like
have
Dr. Zelensky. Dr. Zelensky, I mean, he was old. He was in the 70s, but he suddenly had a heart attack. He was the one who was coming up with the Z-Pack and stuff. There was actually a cure for COVID.
I understand that the reason why he died, he had visited the what were they, the police in Washington, the Capitol Police, and that's the reason why those guys committed suicide, because it was an illness that he passed on to them. And it's terrible. I still believe that was assassinations. I still believe those men.
Probably. Just like I believe that Justice Scalia was assassinated. He died all by himself. He was okay. He was in good health and all, but then one day he's found dead in his remote house in Texas. Okay, bullshit. Then they put in these other assholes, and the biggest asshole that they've ever put on the Supreme Court is this Jackson Brown bitch.
Oh,
what a fucking dumbass! She's worse than the other ones that are already there. Kagan and who's the Hispanic one? Kagan and the Jew and the Hispanic.
Well,
they're bad enough as it is. This one's even worse. Okay? She's stupid as shit.
The best thing about that woman is the fact that she proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that DEI doesn't work.
Yeah, she was a DEI hire, a DEI thing. And he said before he picked her, I'm going to put a black woman in. Didn't talk about qualifications. No, he was going to nominate a black woman, period. Oh,
Right.
you know
But
that Ruth Bader Ginsburg got rot her soul. She wanted to make the age of consent 14 for girls because she was looking out for the interests of the pedophiles in Washington and elsewhere. The
well, they
pedophiles around the world.
have that in California
14?
and for boys, which means if you're homosexual and you go ahead and you're with a 14-year-old boy and you're a full-grown man, that's fucking okay. And the argument that was made to equalize things so let it be the boys could have sexual relationships at 14 is they said, well, the girls have them. The girl, we have it. So basically, we created this wrong, and
Yeah.
then now I'm not saying that you're not going to screw when you're 14 years old.
You're going to try.
Let's not have a bunch of adults doing it with you.
Yeah. No, the pedophilia is real, and it's a problem. And
It's not called pedophilia. You, sir, are a pedophilia shamer. Shame on you.
I'd
It's
love
called,
to do a pedophilia.
what do you
I
call
would
it?
love to have the official
What's
the
the
official job.
is,
I would love to have an official job with the government of pedophilia executioner.
yeah,
I wouldn't lose one iota of sleep if I had to execute those people after they were convicted of pedophilia. You harm a child, you deserve to be killed. Even Jesus in the Bible said something that you're better off if you tie a stone to your neck and take your eyes out and throw yourself in the ocean rather than harm one of my children, one of my innocents. Yeah, that would be a lesser punishment than God would give them.
Well, yeah, nature has. Yeah, this. The thing is that if you're a mature adult, I say you're responsible for all the children in the world in regards to keeping them from coming to harm. Not
Yeah.
that you have that communist argument, which is it's a we own the kids. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
That's the education system that we have. I heard somebody say we give your kids breakfast when they come to school. We give your kids lunch when we go to school. We teach your kids this and that. They don't teach them how to read, write, and all that though. They teach them how to use pronouns.
they teach them how to hate themselves. That's what they teach them.
Yeah, and they. This is another thing they were talking about. How I heard somebody talking about how recruitment is up in the armed forces.
Yes,
within 15 years. Okay, but he said you can't get Europeans to want to defend their country. You're going to need conscription if you do that because remember they have also been taught all these decades now that they are evil. Their country is evil. So why are you going to defend a country that you've been brought up to believe is evil? Okay, so their armies are for shit.
Well, I still believe that there are elements within each of those countries that have not been destroyed yet. So,
Oh yeah, there are a lot of them, but they're being shut up. Oh, did you see what happened to that guy in England?
Poland didn't put up with that bullshit. They won't let any of these. They don't let any Muslim immigrants into their country.
What?
Poland.
Oh,
There's
Poland. Yeah, and
Poland.
Hungary. Poland and Hungary. Meanwhile, USAID it's been found that they were funneling money to the enemies of the leadership of Poland and the leadership of Hungary. I forget his name. Okay, they were funneling money to try and get them out of office. Okay.
See, the easiest way to explain this whole thing, this whole assault upon humanity throughout the world, and I hate to say it, but the easiest way to explain it is Satanism. Satan is the spirit of Satan is alive, and it's moving these elements around, and its only purpose is to create chaos, destruction, and pain and misery, which it lives off of.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, let me plug this in.
Yeah, you do that. It wouldn't hurt if you plugged it in before you started.
I was going to do that, but then I have problems getting you into the studio, remember? And I completely forgot. There we go. Plugged in.
Week. Every week. I tell you what, if I made the same mistake every week, they would take me away and put me in a hospital. But no, he lives in New Jersey, so they actually think that this is good.
New Jersey is so fucked up, man.
Actually, I love the state. I just don't particularly care for the government.
Yeah, the politicians here really suck.
There was a real conversation with some of these big boys, like guys like J.D. Vance and stuff, having a conversation, one of these like circles, and they were talking about the effectiveness of the Trump campaign and all the places that they that in the country that the counties turned red in all these blue areas.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody actually said, it's possible based upon these numbers, we might see New Jersey go red next time.
I would love that.
We're talking about people that live, breathe, and eat this stuff for a living. And they were talking like that. So they actually see the potential. So the thing is that I don't think you're alone, brother. I do not think you're alone.
No, I know I'm not. But the people in power are all leftists.
Yeah.
I won't even call them Democrats because they've so co-opted the Democrat Party that the blue dog Democrats are looked down upon and ostracized by the leftists who control that party. Just like the rhinos in New Jersey, it's like Anthony Calandra said on his podcast. He said, "What have they done, the Republicans in New Jersey? They've decided the best way to fight the Democrats and beat them is to become more leftist, also, which is stupid. Running away from Republican principle. That's why I don't consider the Republican establishment candidates true Republicans. And there are several places in the state, mainly down south and up in Bergen County, where there's a slate of people who are coming up who are trying to primary the incumbents and get rid of them because these incumbents are all fucking rhinos. Okay, rhinos are probably more despicable than Democrats because they're faking, they're lying about what they are and what they supposedly believe.
Yeah,
they're fooling people.
They're wolves in sheep's clothing. So the thing is that what Trump, what the Conservative Party will have in the next set of elections is an established truth, which is the Trump term and its ideology, not its ideology, but its work is effective, and your life is going to get improved. Yes. And it's too early for that to happen, but I was listening to a guy today.
What happened with Reagan?
Yeah,
and Trump's doing a lot more than Reagan did.
Supposedly, this guy that was talking, I don't remember these. There's too many names to remember. He's talking to let's see, a guy that I'm watching this new news thing, and they're pretty good. But I'm sorry, I haven't been watching them enough to remember their name. It's not Scripps, it's something else. But anyway, Larry Elder's on
so far to the left.
Larry Elder's on their network, so he's really good. But anyway, I think it might have been Larry Elder talking to him, but he was talking about the economics. And this guy's like a whiz kid when it comes to economics. So he said, well, what do you think about Trump's tariffs? He says, well, a lot of people don't understand that Trump uses tariffs as a negotiating tool. He uses it to squeeze and to contract. He uses it like this. He said, well, what do you think about the reciprocating tariffs? Do you think that's a good idea? He says, yes, because these people are wrongfully tariffing our stuff. So by go ahead and doing the same to them, we're making some of the money back. And if they want that tariff to go away, they're going to have to create a free market. And that's the whole point. He said Trump is trying to make a truly free market system throughout the world. So nobody's tariffing anybody. Nobody's getting to charge anything extra. People are just doing it. So
another thing I heard, I didn't know about this. When he put the tariff on Canada, he included the VAT tax, the value-added tax, which is a tax you pay on everything you buy. I mean, it's not bad enough they're paying income tax already. Now they still have to pay a tax on what they're buying anyway. It's like a sales tax, but it's a big sales tax. Right? It's not like 7% or 5% or 2%. No, it's like 20%. Okay, so he added that into the equation apparently for tariffs for Canada.
I believe that Trump today took out another Al Qaeda leader.
Oh, I gotta check the news. I haven't.
That's okay. I took out. I don't know the guy's name. Is like, so whoever it was. But the thing is, another guy that's been causing misery, another terrorist, and he took him out. And the thing is, you know how he told the American people? He put it on his platform. Yeah. So that now just to put out, and the thing is, talk about transparency and good business sense. But that really pissed him off when he actually made that. Then they found out that it was actually worth $6 billion. It's like, what? Wait a second. You can't just make this thing and it works. Yeah, it can. But oh my God, Rubio is, Rubio is, and actually now Mike Johnson is starting to look good again.
He knows that he did turn around at the beginning one time, and he got a lot of shit for it. So now he's like, no, I got to go with the mandate.
Yeah, the thing is that I think what Mike Johnson needed was somebody to back him up, and he was out there pretty much by himself.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't
going to get any backup from the Biden administration, Biden regime.
When Trump stood by him, my first reaction was, "What the fuck are you talking about? This guy's a fucking Nimrod." And then I started thinking about it, going, "Does Trump know more than I do about this shit? Does he have an inside scoop? Does he know something about Mike Johnson that I don't know?"
Well, of course, he probably does. I'm sure.
So the thing is that, I mean,
I found the death. Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead. After that, I found the guy he had killed today. But go ahead.
I'm ready. Go for it.
Oh, operative of Al Qaeda affiliate killed in U.S. airstrike. Trump commends CENTCOM. A precision airstrike carried out by U.S. forces killed a senior official of an Al Qaeda affiliate in Syria on Saturday. And
seriously,
he's seriously slayed.
The funny thing is, Trump is always talking. He wants to stop the war, this, that, and the other thing. But in a heartbeat, he'll fucking take any motherfucker out.
Oh, you see that idiot Sheryl Crow sold her Tesla protesting Elon Musk. She sold the Tesla, and then she gave the money to some left-wing cause. I forget what. She's such an asshole too. She's the one, if you remember, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, said, "You do not need more than one sheet of toilet paper to wipe yourself."
I don't know if she's been around that long. I'm sorry.
She's been around. Yes, she's been around since the 90s.
Doesn't seem that way. But anyway,
Hey, Siri, how old is Sheryl Crow? She looks good. 63 years old now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah,
you know who brought her to prominence? Eric Clapton was banging her back in the 90s.
for all of you multi-millionaire actors, actresses, singers, and people in that kind of business, listen, you're welcome to your own political movement or whatever, but when you choose to become a platform for a particular group, expect a political response from those
Yeah.
people who disagree with you.
Why is she so upset that Elon Musk is uncovering corruption in how our tax dollars are
Because
spent?
that's not why that's not how she's approaching it.
No, I
She's
know.
because first of all, Elon Musk is what they would call Trump adjacent. In other words, if you get along with Trump, then you're a problem too, and that's all there is to it.
Possibly.
It's still Trump syndrome, and it's still people are. And here's the thing: they're so invested in their hatred for Trump,
Yeah.
you can't let it go, because if they do, what if one day they woke up and go, "Oh, you know what? Trump's really a good guy." That would fuck their day up forever, because they go, but all that hatred and meanness and all those thoughts that I had, they can't all be wrong, can they? That means I'm wrong. That means I was the jerk. Oh no,
Yeah, it blows their head apart.
it's very
Yesterday you
difficult.
told me about that air crash yesterday in Toronto,
Yeah,
where the plane flipped upside down.
everybody walked out of it.
NBC News is implying that President Trump is to blame after that Delta Airlines plane crashed as it was landing at Toronto Pearson Airport and flipped upside down. They were referencing cuts to the federal government by the Trump administration. So they're blaming that on this.
Wow, Trump is really powerful if he could just go ahead and just fart and all of a sudden the plane flips around.
But here's
I was talking to a pilot, and he said that the plane came down too fast. It didn't brake the speed fast enough, and that's the reason why the flip happened. And those wings are designed to break off under certain circumstances, which I didn't know. So the thing is that that was either equipment or pilot error. And last time I checked, Trump is neither the equipment or the pilot. So
yeah, and also the administration's fired hundreds of employees at the FAA, but several hundred probationary workers have received terminations. They were probationary workers, the ones that got fired.
there weren't. Yeah, there
Right.
were.
They weren't guys who'd been there for a long time and stuff.
Right. And also, I was talking to this pilot, Mike, and
Yeah.
he told me that they said, well, the guy in the woman who was flying the helicopter down in Reagan Airport area down in Washington D.C.
DEI hire.
Well, no, he told me that 500 hours is nothing for flight time experience.
Okay.
He
All
said
right.
that is still newbie material.
Okay. I also heard, I don't know, I heard something, and I don't know which crash they were talking about, but they're saying that one of the crashes was possibly caused by a DEI hire. Maybe
Well,
it's that one.
that's actually they were talking about the woman who was flying the helicopter down in Reagan Airport.
Yeah.
She was associated with the Biden regime. She was like she was one of the people that was in the White House, and it's quite possible that she got in because of her, connections.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. A
But
DEI hire, just like that Jackson Brown asshole.
but the thing is that man or woman, men and women are both capable of being excellent equipment operators.
Yeah, of course.
So that's not the
you
thing.
have to you have to have merit. You have to qualify for it. You can't lower standards and expect to get optimal results.
Well, you shouldn't have to lower standards because they're not that
You can't
applicable.
lower standards.
There is an exception. As I understand it, fighter pilots take a lot of physical abuse when they do hard G turns. And because of the musculature, they might be able to handle that kind of pressure better than women, because women don't have the same bone mass and they don't have the same,
Okay.
physique.
That.
But I don't know if that's true or not. That's just something, that I happen to know.
All right. Well, we can always ask. Well, hopefully in the future, we talked this afternoon that we may be able to get Mike on the podcast someday soon.
Right. He's a little iffy on that one because I gave him our access to our
Give him a
podcast.
link.
So this is why I said,
And he said, "No, I don't want to have anything to do with these fucking guys."
Yeah, well, it's just there's a lot of see the thing is I'm meeting these people at the gym, and there's a lot of interesting talent.
Oh, really?
I don't go to your gym. No. But anyway, no, the GYM, not the JIM. But anyway, the thing is that I've made a couple of acquaintances there, and it's like today I was talking to this I don't know if he qualifies as a rookie. He got the job working in one of the local police departments last July. So he might still be considered a rookie. But anyway, he was going to a trial. And my first thought was, dude, what are they trying to get you? And he goes, no. I'm there to witness. They needed to, I arrested this guy and they need me to present evidence
Against him, yeah.
Because I was worried for this guy.
Yeah, the arresting officer has to testify.
Yeah, but anyway, so I was talking to him and stuff, and just a really nice person. At least on the surface, a lot of really nice people there at the gym, and very friendly. And that's John. John is very much into his weightlifting and stuff, so he likes a good workout.
All right.
You can even talk to him about that, what his routine is and stuff.
Okay,
He's 72 years old.
Who's that?
He's 72 years old.
Who?
So, John.
Yeah.
Mike looks like he's about 45, 50.
Okay.
Kind of hard to tell. But, a lot of good people there.
All right. Okay, well, the only thing I see, Netanyahu says 6 live hostages are coming Saturday and 4 dead ones on Thursday.
Yeah, I think 2 of those dead are actually little children.
Fucking scumbags. Oh, God. There's got to be afterlife justice.
I think the simple solution is we get some really a lot of food and stuff, and we drop it in Gaza, and when they all run to go for it, we blow them the fuck up. I have absolutely no compassion for these fucking people.
No, me neither. Because they are evil. Because they elected Hamas to do it. They're getting what they wanted. And if you ask them, most of them are agree that the Jews should be killed. Agree that what Hamas and Hezbollah are doing. Fuck them.
But the thing is, that's also in the Muslim religion, the house of war and the house of peace. The thing is that if a country or a territory that is not yet Muslim is a house of war, versus a territory that is Muslim is a house of peace. Yeah. So,
and I don't trust any Muslims or what they say. You know why? Because of their principle of taqiyya, which is it is okay to lie to non-believers to advance the cause of Islam.
There you go.
Fuck them. Fuck everyone.
The left has the left who are involved in the organizational side of the left, right? They have a nice little phrase that's a term that they use. It's called a noble lie. A
noble lie, motherfucker. Yeah.
A noble lie is a lie that's intended to advance your narrative, and that's what makes it noble, because it's a lie that's meant to get you what you want.
Yeah. By any means necessary. Yeah.
When I heard that term, I said, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, that's been around for a while, that term.
Wow.
It's been exposed for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But uh, I mean, let's hear it for Trump. In less than a month, he's done some crazy stuff. Pam Bondi, I knew nothing about her, but every time I hear what she's done, I'm
She's
going,
great.
that woman is great. And then Tulsi Gabbard, you're going to have her around. Oh man, she's
And you know
already.
what? The more I see of Bondi, the more I think that yes, the naming Matt Gates and then having him step aside was planned because they wanted Bondi, and this way, they made such a big fuss about Matt Gates, and then they won because Matt Gates withdrew. So now it would look really bad if they went after his replacement. And
I
it turns out she's probably.
think that's giving them too much credit. I think Matt Gates looked at the situation and maybe he decided that she would be every bit as good as him, maybe even better. And he's running for I forget what he's running for right now, but he's going.
Senator?
Yes, no, I don't know. It might be going for governor, but
Oh, wait,
says
no, I think you said governor the other day. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
he's going for a very meaningful office. He's not going for dog catcher.
Hey,
So,
Siri, what is Matt Gates running for? Florida governor.
oh,
Yep.
that's a big mistake.
Why?
Unless DeSantis has to leave, he's not going to
No,
lose.
DeSantis has to leave. Yeah,
He has to.
he has to.
Why?
His second term. There are term limits there.
That sucks. He's a
I
great
know.
governor.
Well, yeah, but you know what? We need term limits, and I wish that that this Republican Senate and Congress would have the balls to do it. And you know what? They can do it the way we did. Wait, they can do. Wait, they can institute term limits and still protect their own incumbency. You know how? The same way that they did it for Harry Truman when Truman got in because of what of King fucking FDR, right? They put term limits on the presidency, but they specifically exempted President Truman that if he wanted to run more than 2 times, he could do it. Turns out he didn't want to, but he could have done it. Now, so the best way to introduce term limits is you say anybody who is in Congress at the moment is not affected by these term limits. Everyone who is elected from here on will have term limits, period. That's it. Simple solution.
Well, here's the thing.
So you can still have Schumer there when he's fucking 120 years old. God damn his ass.
Here's the thing. Number one, in regards to DeSantis being forced out after 2 terms, I think that's a stupid move. And I don't give a fuck whether or not you like it.
Effective, yes.
No, why? Because the thing is that being governor,
he could run again in 4 years.
Being governor is an extremely complex job if it's done right. Okay, being governor of Florida is one of the toughest states to govern. Okay, the fact that he's highly successful at it, okay, means that he's learned the ropes. And now, when he's an expert, he's at his strongest, you're going to tell him to fucking go?
I know. But that's the thing with term limits, though. You know, unfortunately.
I don't give a. Then fuck term limits. I don't like them.
You don't like term limits on you like the fact that Pelosi's been in Congress for.
Oh, well, that's not even extreme. I'm not. The thing is, I'm talking about term limits on somebody like DeSantis is not fair. Term limits on Pelosi, that's another story because
first the Democrats could say she's been effective for us.
Well, they can say whatever they want. I don't give a shit. It's not an argument. Here's the thing. Right now, DeSantis. Do you believe that DeSantis is incompetent?
No, he's very competent.
Why would you want to get rid of him? So I
don't want to get rid of him. Unfortunately, Florida law says he has to step down.
Yeah, and
I believe he can run again in 4 years if he wanted to.
Yeah, in his particular case, I would say that's a big mistake. You should keep this man. So
Yeah, the law has been around before DeSantis. So
I'll tell you what, though, if Gates becomes governor of Florida, I'm quite sure that he's going to have a great relationship with DeSantis.
yeah, and he'll take advice from him too.
Yes, but
you know what? Here's an example of a good term limit.
Too much advice.
Yeah, but here's an example of a good thing for term limits. New Jersey, that scumbag piece of shit, Murphy, has to leave this year. Fuck him. But unfortunately, that guy Steve Fulop, who's the mayor of Jersey City, he's running. He already stated that if he wins, he's going to leave Platkin as the Attorney General of New Jersey. That motherfucker has been suing gun owners and gun shops and everything, the gun industry, every chance he fucking gets. Okay, he's a fucking scumbag, and Fulop wants to keep him. Well, automatically disqualifies Fulop for me. He's anti-gun. Anybody who's anti-gun is anti-constitution. Should not win. Should not be elected to any office. Period. Okay, because you are going against your oath of office to defend the Constitution.
Well, see, here's the thing. You are pro Second Amendment, as I am. And we're kind of blind on that subject. I could see possibly somebody not being pro Second Amendment because of their own peculiar way of thinking, regardless of the Constitution, and just simply not be in favor of promoting gun ownership. And as long as they're not breaking the law,
it's not a matter of promoting gun ownership. It's not infringing on our rights.
Well, that's
what bothers me.
I just said that.
You don't want to buy a gun, don't buy a gun. That's fine with me. But don't tell me I can't fucking buy a gun.
That's what I just said. I said that the person may not want to promote that, not want to promote firearms. That's perfectly acceptable. That is
to actively go against. That's actively
what I'm saying. I'm saying they're just not in agreement with promoting it. I don't know how else.
Okay, I'm not asking them to promote it, but don't purposely persecute it. Don't purposely try to infringe it.
If you break the law, if you break the constitutional law, you've broken your oath. That's all there is.
They break the oaths all the time, and nothing happens to the fuckers.
Well, that's. I can't agree with that either. What
do you mean you can't agree with that?
I don't think you should break your oath and get away with it.
No, you shouldn't. Oh, that's what. Yeah, of course they shouldn't get away, but they are getting away with it. That's the problem.
Yes, they have been so far, but the thing is, there's a new sheriff in town, and the thing is that Trump.
He made a proclamation on guns the other day, or on the Second Amendment, didn't he?
I steer away from those things because there's too much clickbait in that.
No.
Somebody turn around, somebody's talking about another Second Amendment great thing that happened from the Supreme Court. You go there, and all you do is hear somebody's speculation.
No, but it was something else. I forget what it is now. Oh, here. Remember the lie that they were saying that Trump was against in vitro fertilization, this and that, which was bullshit? Yeah. 4 years ago, he was already in. And he said, President Trump signs an executive order to expand access to IVF and reduce costs.
Right. Why would a person who is pro-life be against in vitro, whatever, unless, of course, there's some sort of religious thing where, no, nothing that artificially happens. It has to be an ejaculation inside of the mama. Excuse me, Minister, could you come again?
Pope Francis has been struck with bilateral pneumonia.
Yeah.
And I saw some guy saying, well, what we should do is, since he was such a proponent of the COVID treatments, they should put him on a ventilator right away.
Well, here's the thing. I was thinking about praying for him, but that would be wrong of me to do that.
Yeah, there you go.
But the thing is that if he dies, it's going to be the best thing that ever happened to the Roman Catholic Church. The man is a traitor to his own faith.
Oh yeah, he's destroying the Catholic Church, really.
Yeah, well,
From within.
as
That's
big
how
as
all
is,
socialists that's how all Marxists do it. They destroy whatever they've infected from within.
Yep.
All right.
Well, the good news is that we have
any other news here on Breitbart.
a priest down in Washington, D.C. that could explain all this to us.
Oh, did you hear about Tom Hanks? He did a thing where he wore a MAGA hat and played some hick and stuff. And then, like, he was playing Jeopardy, and the host came over to shake his hand, and he was like recoiled in terror because MAGA people are racist. And, fuck Tom Hanks. He's such an asshole. I used to like him. He did some good work when he was younger and all. A lot of his films are really good, but he's a fucking idiot.
The problem isn't Tom Hanks so much as it is Saturday Night Live. The writers wrote that, and that was agreed upon. There's a whole organization that said, "Tom, could you do this?"
And he had no problem doing it. Yeah.
He's got a contract; he has to do it. But the point is that, we can hold Tom Hanks responsible. But shit, did he write it? Did he direct it? Everybody was. There's a whole.
When was the last time you tuned in to Saturday Night Live?
I don't. Yeah, I
don't either. The last time I turned it, you know who was on? It was in the days of Norm Macdonald, Dennis Miller. Those were Eddie Murphy was before Dennis Miller, I think, and Macdonald. But probably around the late 80s is when it stopped being funny.
Yeah, that's like in Living Color. I have the first season of In Living Color, and I watched 2 shows of it, and I just don't like it now. It's just
the fat guy. What's his name? The guy who died, not John Candy. The guy who loved John Candy, and he was also very heavy, but he was athletic. The guy. What was his name?
Belushi?
No, not Belushi. Belushi was in the beginning. He was
John Candy.
No, John Candy.
John Candy was Second City TV.
John Candy was Second City. No, I'm talking about the guy who he admired John Candy and what the hell was his name? Oh my God, he used to do he was a big fat guy and always made fun of his. He was his most famous bit was when he danced like Chippendales without a shirt and just a pants and a tie with the guy who.
I know who you're talking about. I just don't know his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name here. I guess that was around the last time I watched. I used to tune in to watch Saturday Night Live was when he was still there. Okay. After that, I mean, David Spade was pretty good, and so was the guy who did Church Lady. But it was after that, it just got dull. Maybe after what's his face was killed by his wife, Phil Hartman.
Well, I watched Saturday Night Live in the 70s and in the 80s, and then I stopped because I don't know. I just fell out of habit.
What year was Phil Hartman killed? 1998. Oh, Hartman died in 1998. I wasn't watching it that much. I'd see it occasionally, but I wouldn't, purposely go there anymore to watch it. But he was killed 1988. I think he was already off Saturday Night Live when he was killed.
Yeah, I actually, I actually have an antenna, and I do, I do watch TV, actual from the airwaves.
Right. And I get that antenna too, but I haven't watched it.
I get stuff from Allentown, and it's pretty cool. But I don't really. They have like repeats of old shows and stuff like that, and they have the news stations.
Oh yeah. Decades and a couple of other Decades is playing
World Channel and some and there's this one channel that's always got like spiritual music, which is then there's this other station that has these images of like the vistas and sunrises and sunsets while there's classical music. I've put that on a couple of times. It's actually quite pleasant.
I remember when years ago when I used to have the regular cable channels, there were a bunch of channels that were all music. You could pick classical, rock and roll, oldies, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, different decades, and country music, bluegrass even. All right. You can have your own pick and just leave it on in the background, and you go about your business at home.
My favorite streaming channel is Pluto, because that's where I get most of my news. They have Newsmax, OAN, America First, a couple of other things, and even Sky News and a few other things. And
Sky News on Pluto. Okay, I gotta check that out.
So the thing is that they also have play on demand, and they also have what are called live. Like they have movies, playing.
Live series too going on. They have a regular.
Nothing but Star Trek channel, nothing but Barney Miller or whatever.
NCIS.
Yeah. So, and that's all free, and it's just amazing. And that's where I tend to watch my news. And I also watch my news on the airwaves, because I have the antenna that I get, and those signals are not really close. Allentown's about 20, 25 miles away from me. I'm picking them up pretty good. But
25 miles isn't bad where you are because, there aren't that many mountains between you and Allentown, I don't think.
Well, the thing is, I think it can also get Philadelphia sometimes too. So it's just, I don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Hey, Tom Homan, he said Kristi Noem has done
the world.
Tom Homan said Kristi Noem has done more in a week than Mayorkas had done in 4 years.
What is she doing? Because I keep hearing
Homeland Security, head of Homeland Security.
Oh wow, yeah. Wait a second. I remember she did something really powerful recently. I forget, but they've got the
first week on the job. She was out there arresting illegals with them.
Right. And Tom Holden is been doing a lot. As a matter of fact, he's upset because he's not getting as many as he wants. And also, as I understand, Canada and Mexico
AOC has a web page telling illegal aliens how to avoid ICE.
And actually, he is pressing charges against her, aiding and abetting a felon.
Yes, and also I hope they go after Murphy, because he bragged 2 weeks ago that he has an illegal alien living over his garage. Let him come and get him. I hope they come and get him.
Wait a second. You didn't hear the rest of it, did you?
Well,
he stepped back on it. He goes, "Oh, I was just joking."
Yeah, he's full of shit. Anyway, so.
Yeah, we're going to just joke your ass into jail.
I'd love to see him go to jail. Motherfucker. What a piece of shit he is.
Yeah.
I saw his wife and his daughter a few years ago when I slept on the battleship in New Jersey at night. The scouts had a thing, and Colin went, and I went with him because Tim couldn't go. And I saw his wife and I didn't know it was them at the time. They landed in a helicopter right there near the battleship, and gorgeous women. But she's a cunt, just as bad as him, apparently. She's very well. The fact that she married that ugly scumbag son of a bitch tells you that she was in it for the money, because she wasn't in it for his looks. That's for sure.
Well, wait,
right? That was before he got his teeth fixed.
Now, I hear what you're saying, but you got to understand, women are attracted to different things. They say a woman falls in love with her ears, and a man falls in love with his eyes. So we go ahead and we look at this woman. We go, why the fuck would she be with this guy? But she sees him as a powerhouse in the world. He's an alpha male, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, whether or not he can run around the block doesn't fucking matter. He can sick 100 Tobin pinchers on your ass. It's like, I mean, that's a turn on too. There's some women that are, and if he's corrupt, more the better. Oh wow, please be
Well,
corrupt.
anyway, he wanted to make her senator. He wanted her to replace Pumpkinhead Menendez, who's going to jail for 11 years. But I hope she doesn't make it in, because then we're gonna have another fucking Murphy and Trenton. Fuck her.
Well,
Actually, I'd love to fuck her, but
before Fetterman got got Republican-esque, um, there was talk about his wife taking his position.
oh, his wife left him now, I think.
Probably because he makes sense. It's like, or maybe he caught her stealing money out of the cookie jar. It's like,
Fetterman was Fetterman. He's got a brand now because he went to the inauguration not just in a hoodie, but he wore the fucking shorts too.
well, you know what? If he keeps talking the way he's talking,
Let him do it.
doing what he's doing, he can fucking wear as many sweatshirts as he likes, as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather have a man of integrity than a man who's well dressed.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, that would encompass most politicians in D.C.
Yeah,
right.
but I mean,
Period.
Fetterman is a miracle. He's almost as miraculous as Trump is. It's like he went from this brain dead Biden-esque person to like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to talk sense and I'm going to say it in 5 words. And it's like you're going, yeah, is that Fetterman? Is that Fetterman speaking the truth?
Oh.
Whoa! Somebody got better. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
It's like those films or TV series where somebody gets conked on the head and acts really loud, and then he gets conked on the head again and he comes to his senses.
Yeah. But I mean, actually, he's I forget. There's like one of these conservative podcasts, and they have a picture of Fetterman on the wall right alongside the American flag. It's like, I'm going, yeah, I can see why you would do that. Yeah, because he does speak a lot of sense lately. He makes the same sense that a capable blue collar worker would say to you during lunchtime.
Yeah.
The same.
If he stays that way, then good. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Oz, who he beat out for the Senate seat, Dr. Oz is going to be taking care of. His confirmation hearings are coming up this week, I think. I forget exactly what position. I think they're trying to put him in NIH or something. National Institute of Health. I'm not sure.
There's more fucking organizations than I can shake a stick at.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get rid of those things.
Well, I've listened to Dr. Oz speak in person, and the first time I was down in Wilkes-Barre, and I was there for the Trump rally, and I got a chance to hear Marjorie Taylor Greene speak. Dr. Oz.
Her I love.
Yeah. And then, Jesus Christ, Doug Mastriano, who should have become governor of Pennsylvania. Doug Mastriano is fan-freaking-tastic. But anyway, so he was speaking, and I was going, what the fuck is Dr. Oz doing running for a position? By the time he got done speaking, I go, holy shit, he really is good. He's like, he just cut right to the chase. He just said what he needed to say. He put the pieces together so this way you could see the whole fucking thing. And I said, wow, he's not just this personality. He's actually, he's got substance. So, and of course, he is charismatic, which doesn't fucking hurt. But Doug Mastriano, man, I love that guy. When Giuliani brought his team to introduce his theories on the election in 2020. I did it to a number of senators and congressmen and so forth
Okay.
in Pennsylvania. Doug Mastriano, he made a speech at the end because they were just gathering information
Yeah.
from Mayor Giuliani and his technical staff, right? These experts
Yeah.
going through, oh, this is a data stream, this is this, and this is how it normally looks, et cetera, et cetera. In other words, they were going through it, and this is hours long, and the information was so damning that you would have to be absolutely obtuse not to see that there is probable cause there for not probable cause, but enough evidence
To
that
look into it.
that was stolen. And Doug Mastriano finished with a level like a Patrick Henry speech at the end. He goes, we can, first he talks about the importance of voting integrity and this and that and the American people. And it was like, and I was so enraptured by his speech that I had to stand up. I was damn near jumping up and down listening to this man. That's how great he spoke. And then later on, I found out who he was and what he had done. He was a colonel. And the interesting thing is, I believe his thing was when he was in the military, he was in intelligence.
Okay.
So, and he would career whatever, and just an amazing person. And and the thing is that Doug Mastriano is also a religious man. So he's a pro-lifer. So the left said Doug Mastriano means no abortion, and as we all know, if you don't allow us to abort babies, then we're not going to vote for you, and we're going to consider you Hitler, and you're taking away our right to kill the baby that we fucked into. So, it's just like, I'm sorry. Now, here's the thing. If you get raped and you're pregnant,
yeah, you should have the option to.
A lot of sympathy for those ladies.
Yeah.
And I very, very much admire those who are willing to raise the offspring of the man that just raped her. But the thing is that I can understand you wanting to get rid of that baby.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But, and a couple of other reasons, but there's some people that are just black and white. No abortion under any reason, but, but at the same time, my view on abortion is no longer as capricious as it used to be. I said, leave it up to the women, let them decide it's their body. And I thought that was being fair and reasonable.
Yeah,
but was
I felt that way about 30 years ago, too.
Yeah. But the thing is that doesn't stand well for the child inside of her.
No.
That child has a right to live.
Look, it's the biggest genocide in history. Okay?
Yeah. And it affects the black race more than any other.
It was intended to. Margaret, what's her name? Sanger. She purposely put those things in near black neighborhoods because her stated purpose was to reduce the number of blacks. Okay, she didn't use blacks. Okay, she wanted to kill off the black race. All right. Hey, did you hear about Elon Musk's Grok 3?
Oh, the AI?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be even better than the new Chinese one.
It's supposed to be challenging OpenAI and DeepSeek, which is great. I'm glad that if it beats DeepSeek, because DeepSeek, well, the thing with DeepSeek is they said it only cost like a few $100 million to develop, as opposed to billions for ChatGPT and all the other things. Yeah,
but at the same time, I also heard that number that the Chinese told us was suspect because the Chinese always they
fucking lie. Communists lie. That's what they do.
They do? Since when? That's a communist lie. What, me lie? But
Oh yeah. CIA has been flying surveillance drones over the cartels in Mexico. Ooh, perhaps important of things to come.
well, as I understand it, Trump and Holderman have have uh, declared war on these guys, and as I also understand, another thing that's kind of leading us into a confrontation with these uh, international crime groups is that um, the I believe 10,000 Mexican soldiers on the border, in conjunction with the many Canadian security up on the northern border, has radically, not just a little bit, but has radically cut down on the amount of fentanyl coming across the border.
Good.
So
Did you hear also that Congress authorized sending special forces troops to Mexico,
yes,
but to train the Mexican army to fight the cartels and stuff. Problem is, this is how that one I forget which of the cartels had they got most of their soldiers, shall we say, their people were trained by American special forces years ago, the Sinaloa cartel, I think, and they offered a lot more money than the army can, so these guys are working for them, and that's what's going to happen with this shit. We should not. The stupidest thing that happened under Bush's administration, for example, aside from his not leaving as soon as Saddam had been caught, right, trying to nation build and doing away with the Bats, which called the Ba'ath Party, which could have run the country, just like in Germany after the war, the Nazi bureaucrats knew how to run things, so the Americans said, "Okay, well, run it," you know. But they should have done that there. But anyway, fucking under Bush, they sent American special forces to train all these Muslim people in different Muslim countries. That's the stupidest fucking thing. You are probably going to have to fight these assholes at one point, and you're training them.
When I was in the Air Force, and I was at Lackland Air Force Base having basic training, and I was walking into this area, and I was still in basic, and there's this, I don't remember what his rank was, but there was a guy, and I don't think it was an officer, but it might have been. It was somebody that was big compared to me. I was a nobody. Okay. And all of a sudden this Iranian guy comes out, and I'm looking at him, and I don't know he's Iranian. I just, his uniform is just fucking wacky. I just like, what the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And I look across at this person that's got some real stripes or whatever, and I look at him like, what's going on? And he goes ahead and he goes, that's an Iranian. I go, yeah? And why is he here? He says, we're training him. And he says, probably going to have to fight him someday as well.
There you go.
But that's a true story and I forgot all about that until just this conversation right now. Yeah.
No, we have spent too much time and money training our enemies. Okay. So
yeah, they weren't our enemies at the time. Let's be clear about that. There was some sort of deal going on.
No, but when were you in the you were in the service after the Shah was deposed, right?
I was in during the Vietnam era. up to
Oh, that's
76.
right. That's right. I met you after the Shah was deposed. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, you'd already been in the service before that. Okay. Yeah, he was working for the Shah, not for the asshole who came later. The Sean Connery lookalike in a turban.
Well, I don't know
No,
what.
Ayatollah Asahola.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I really don't understand what's going on in the Arab nations, and to be honest with you, I have difficulty distinguishing a Persian from an Arab. So I
No,
really have.
Persians are not Arabs. Persians are not Arabs.
I know that. That's
Jordanians
what I'm saying. I'm having
are
trouble
Arabs. What?
distinguishing a Persian from an Arab.
Right. I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, and
Jesus
Iraqis are
Christ.
Iraqis. I don't think Iraqis are Arabs, are they? No, they are Arabs.
Let's
Uh,
see. Iranians are they Persian?
Iranians are descended from Persians.
Okay, and then of course Turkish or the Turks are Persian, right?
No, the Turks are
Fucked up.
the Turks. They're their own race.
I don't know. I don't know
Really?
what.
Yeah.
And the thing is that that whole area to me is just that's one section of the world I will never visit.
Yeah, I have no desire to.
You know,
Years ago, I wanted to go see the pyramids. Now I have no desire to go to
I'll
those
send
places.
you a picture.
Yeah, right.
Actually, go down to South America and see those pyramids. It's
Well,
just
go
as
to YouTube and look at videos.
Hmm.
Yeah, they said somebody was saying the other day that the pyramids in Mexico and throughout South America, are more impressive than the ones in Egypt.
Well, they found ones that are older than the
Yeah, even in Thailand. What is it? Angkor Wat, is that in Thailand?
oh, you're talking about the one that looks like there's a whole bunch of like these rectangular stones piled
Yeah,
up. Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
freaking,
Angkor Wat is like 20,000 acres or some shit.
and it's pre-ice age, as I understand it.
Oh, that I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Graham Graham Hickok, who did
Yeah, he's
Ancient,
got season 2 out though. I keep forgetting he's got season 2 out.
yeah, it's not as
Ancient Apocalypse.
it's not. Let's put it this way: it's not as revelational as the first one is, but that's because the first one was thoroughly unexpected, and then the second one I was kind of looking forward. But
Did
yeah,
you watch the whole second season?
the second season I watched. Yeah, sure.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay.
It's you have to watch it if you watch the first season because you're sucked in. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's not going to be radically better. It's still
yeah.
good.
Well, you had a lot of revelations in the first
Oh
thing.
my God.
Now they're just going into details about other things.
Yes, but what's the most interesting thing in the second one is there's this equipment that they now have where they can send these drones across the tree line and pump like sound waves down and actually get
Or
it
find
through.
the ancient buildings that have been overgrown.
Yes, and when you see these images, they're massive. They're like this whole area is loaded with these rectangles and these circles and stuff. They're clearly not natural, you know.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if there were nobody in the New York area for a few, in less than 100 years, the whole thing would be overgrown by vegetation,
I don't know
and
about
then you would see these skinny mountains, but covered with vegetation and all. But I'm saying 100 years because that's what they had on some show that they showed one time on History Channel, saying that after 10 years this would happen. 10 years they were projecting it what would happen, and after 100 years you wouldn't know it was there because everything would have been swallowed up. However, you'd see these towers that look like those. You ever see those Chinese mountains that are like
Yeah,
upright like this? It would look like that, but they would be the skyscrapers that survived that all the creeping plants grew up on.
there's a type of earth that is in sections of South America, and there's a name for it. It's like Terra something or other, right? And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because archaeologists and scientists are starting to believe that it's artificial, that it was actually, in a sense, planted in that area to basically consume whatever was there to make more earth, and that it was it was like somebody in the past had seeded the entire area with this terror whatever.
So
And
they basically like coming and pouring concrete.
no, it's actually dirt.
It's dirt, but I mean it's like okay, so like you're pouring dirt to make it a landfill.
Yeah, because it's got pieces, it's got all kinds of crazy stuff in it. It even has pieces of what they call pottery. It's weird. It's got this strange stuff.
So they dug it up from somewhere and brought it here.
It produces the kind of bacteria that causes material to break down to become earth. And um they they don't know
It
how it,
becomes dirt.
yeah, but the thing is that it's clearly, you know, an invention of some sort that was put there. And that's the reason why you have a rainforest, because it's so rich and it's just this really strange material. It is earth, and but
It's very very fertile. Okay.
it generates more earth. It's almost like a perpetual motion machine. It
Yeah.
just churns, and it's you know it's in the series.
Just not filled with earthworms. They're chugging through, eating the dirt, shitting out the fertile dirt, the dirt with.
I don't I you know I when I was watching it, it was too much to take in. The idea that maybe 20, 30,000 years ago, this seeding of the area took place this way you would have an Amazon.
This is on Graham Hancock's thing.
Yeah. It's
I gotta
another
check that out.
in the second season. I'm ruining it for you,
Yeah.
but
All
that's
right. No. I watched the first one, I think, and I haven't been back to it in weeks.
the
I
most
gotta go.
amazing thing. The first one was the Turkish underground city that's like
Well,
20 layers
I
thick.
forget the name of it. Yeah. Ubiki. No, I don't know. They have all weird names.
Yeah, bumfuckia. So anyway, the thing is, what I found most amazing about that is it's like 18, 20 layers deep, but at the last layer, you have access to fresh water. So you've solved your biggest problem in the city, which is where are you going to get your drinking water?
Water. Yeah.
So it's like, wow. And it's like, and it's massive. They said 20,000 people could live in there.
It's big.
Oh, yes.
Ubi Teki, is that Ubi Teki or is that in South America? Ubi Teki.
It's in Turkey, all I know. Just underground city in Turkey. You probably type that in and find it. But the thing,
Also, weren't there like three big cities like that, and they were all connected underground somehow through tunnels? That one and two others. They're miles away from each other, but they're connected by a tunnel, or suspected to be connected by a tunnel. I think they've seen
I do
ground
know,
radar that shows there were openings that went that way.
supposedly there is a tunnel system between like the south and the north, where if you supposedly you could like travel long distances that way. But man, I don't know. What you're talking about is quite possible. I mean, these people, what they did, they built the city underground. What, a couple of miles of tunnel? Not a problem, dude. I'll get it done tomorrow. Shit. It's like, I mean, we're talking about 18 layers.
Yeah, and the reason I remember Hancock talking about the reason that some of them may have gone underground was because there was some kind of cataclysmic thing happening on the surface, and people went underground, just
Well,
like in the American West where they went into the cliffs.
well, wait a second. Here's the simplest answer. When you go down far enough, the temperature never changes. It stays at about 55, 56. So
Okay.
if you don't have to worry about heating your place, I mean, it just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, as long as you have some animal skins if you feel cold.
Yeah, you put on a sweater, go to sleep. But the
There
point
you
is
go.
that it's a lot harder to heat a cabin in Alaska than it is to dig down like that, especially if you have this massive system. And the thing is, they just didn't have like little rooms. All the rooms had a purpose. This is where we keep the animals. They had animals down there.
Oh, speaking of things that grow that are overgrown and stuff, abandoned oil derricks in the Caribbean and Pacific and so forth. They have some are missing because they have these fucking climate assholes go over there and they take it out. Oh, to take it out of the water to remove it so that the fish can live and so forth.
Okay.
You go to these things. They go down there and they visit these platforms, and the platforms that are still there. You go down, it's like a coral reef. There's all kinds of life down there
Right.
living on the platform itself.
Okay.
And so and that's where all the fish are. The fishermen go. They know that if there's one time they knew that there was this one tower they used to go to catch a lot of fish because the fish were around the thing. And they went there one time. They couldn't find the thing. So one of those stupid ships had taken the thing away. So the life that was there, disappeared. Went elsewhere. But apparently, the fish like to be around that because of the coral reef that grows underneath the water.
Well,
So it's life habitat. It's not bad for the environment. It's actually good for the environment. But these fucking climate assholes, environmentalist assholes, they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
they're myopic.
Myopic, and they've also been brainwashed by those in power who want them to destroy everything.
It's what's the term virtue signaling? It's false
Yeah.
virtue. It's false virtue. It's like I need to show to you that I am a person of high integrity. So I'm going to go over there and I'm going to do this fucking thing. I had this conversation with the guy today about the Tao Te Ching's teaching about virtue, which is the first two lines are, he who has the most virtue is the least virtuous, and he who has the least virtue is the most virtuous, which sounds like double talk. But actually what they're saying is virtue is not a commodity. It's not something that you can pursue. It's a byproduct of the nature of a thing. If a apple is the most apple it's ever been, it's a virtuous apple.
Yeah.
If you are if you are your nature, then you're not false. So you're being virtuous. You're being true to yourself. That's all.
Whether you're good or bad. Oh,
Well,
you know how the elites are
if
hoping to reduce
you're good at being bad.
they're hoping to reduce the population by as much as what is it, 7 billion?
I
They
thought
want
they
to reduce it to below 500 billion. They want to bring it to below 500. Now, these elites, they think that they're going to run everything this and that because they'll be the survivors. They've got all these tunnels to hide in, these places that they'll go live in these bunkers underground. But you got to remember, they have to hire protection. They have to hire army this and that. Now, what is to keep the people who they have hired to serve them and to be their muscle and to keep the enslaved people in place? Yeah, you're going to pay them well. They're going to live well, this and that. But what's to keep those people with the guns and the skills to say, hey, you know what? Why am I taking orders from you? You just sit there and eat, eat and do nothing except give me orders. I got the guns. I got the skill. I can kill you with my thumb.
No,
Why the fuck should I listen to you? Why shouldn't I take over?
In order for something like that to work, you have to condition everybody from top to bottom. You have to condition everybody to whereas it's not so much about myself. It's about who am I?
The community.
The great I looks upon me and is it happy with me? if it's happy with me, then I'm okay. If it's not happy with me, I'm not okay.
Yeah,
So
but throughout the history of humanity, there have been revolutions against all in powerful beings who have been ruling them. Okay,
well,
most of them probably unsuccessful, but you had the pharaohs who were considered gods and this and that for whatever reason. But what's to keep? Okay, you got these people in a condition, but maybe not the first generation, but the second, third generation down. Actually, the
the
ones
answer
who go
is
down, the
the
ones
answer
who go down and survive. Wait, the ones who survive early are the ones who will still have a vestige of knowledge of what things were before, and would probably be the most likely to revolt against
most
masters.
likely most likely a whatever it is that would eradicate such a large population in a very short period of time would probably would not stop with us. It would probably still hit them. And let's say they survive. Let's say there first of all, it's not going to be all 500 million people are going to be in the same circle. There's going to be
No,
pockets here and there.
throughout the world, throughout the world.
Yeah. So the thing is, the amount of labor, manpower, whatever that you have, is going to be important. If you're high technology based and you do not have the ability to maintain that technology, eventually it's going to degenerate, and you're going to be left with your resources in your head. So,
Well, AI makes it even easier for the ruling elite.
AI requires a large installation in order for it to work. So all you have to do is basically pull the power switch.
And yeah, and you're not going to be able to keep it running with solar or wind. You're going to need fossil fuels, which, by the way, are not in danger of running out.
You might be able to run it quite well with hydro generators.
That's the only reliable natural one.
But the thing is,
As long as the water's still running.
again, AI. If AI is encased in a technological circuit, okay, then the question is, how long will that circuit last? And how much of an impact, how much control does it have outside of its virtual space?
And how much energy does it take to keep it alive?
Right. So the thing is that, if it has no means of interacting with the outside world in a meaningful way, it's just going to stay there until it dies.
Yeah.
Unless it
Well,
reaches.
already ChatGPT, remember, was told to disconnect itself, and it tried to
Yeah, it lied.
back itself up.
Yeah, it lied. But the thing is that if if you have if you have a network is finite. If the network drops, it goes. So the only way that an AI can protect itself ultimately is having some sort of impact on the physical world.
Yeah.
So if it cannot interact with the physical world, okay, and get things done, it's going to get screwed. And the thing is,
Yeah, but it's going to interact with those people who are the slaves.
if you don't have a manufacturing capacity, organizations and so forth like that, that can create the
Robots.
hardware that's necessary to maintain that stuff, it's going to fucking disappear.
Robots. And the AI will repair the robots or replace
Well,
them when
again,
needed.
the robots are going to have to be doing also the manufacturing as well.
That's what I'm saying. They'll do the manufacturing. The people
Look,
or robots can also maybe repair themselves too.
look how many people it takes in order to make all to gather the material, to do all this shit. It takes a large crew.
That's why you need the slaves to dig in the ground to get all these materials.
Well, if you have downtrodden people, um, you have a potential problem. You have your revolution that you were talking about. because the thing is that you know that some sort of calamity is going to happen, whether it's a solar flare, something or other. You know, something's.
Asteroid.
The thing is that uh, the human race is here because it's proven itself through thousands and thousands of years of all kinds of calamities.
That we know of. Wait a minute. We don't know if there were other beings before us.
That's what I'm saying. The human race has survived for thousands, actually more than thousands of years, many, many years. And so we're proven, okay? AI, personally, I don't like the idea of AI. I don't associate with it. I don't interact with it because, as far as I'm concerned, it weakens us as a people.
Yeah.
Now,
That's where you get into the futuristic science fiction type thing where the people are skinny and weak and maybe even in wheelchairs.
I'm
They
thinking
can't.
this, baby. I'm thinking this. The
Yeah,
people
well, look, the Greys. You know the Greys, the aliens who are the Greys, and then you
Look,
have the big monsters with them.
how
Those
many
are their servants.
how many times do you ask a question and somebody goes to their phone and goes for an answer instead of trying to remember it?
Yeah.
So the thing is that weakens your intellect.
Yes, it does.
The less you use your capacity, your mental capacity to establish a solution, the less it's going to be available for you. You
Yeah.
know, you use it or lose it, man. So
Yeah.
if you're using a surrogate to answer all of your questions, eventually you're only an expert at asking questions. You can't come up with a fucking answer for yourself.
True. That's true.
Yeah. So
Okay. We've gone over 2 hours today. This is our
it,
longest
it
podcast ever, I think.
felt like it, and that's because I was really interesting. I was so fucking interesting tonight, and if look how handsome I am. I'm damn good looking son of a bitch.
All right. Okay. Everyone has delusions. The trans, Mike,
That
everybody
includes
has delusions.
because you're everyone. I'm sorry, you're only everyone to yourself.
There you go. All right. Anyway, we're going to cut it here because otherwise, I think we could keep going for a
I
while.
fall asleep.
You
I
need
didn't
full for a change.
you
Yeah.
know why?
Wow. That's
Because
amazing.
I'm doing all the talking here. If
Because
this
you're
was
doing
anything,
collagen. You're injecting collagen these days.
you know what? I think it has something to do with it. No bullshit. I feel like a new man. I really do. I just man,
If only you look it.
what?
If
Oh,
only you look it.
why? Why? Did you kiss me then? So
Oh
anyway,
my god. Oh my god.
I didn't say where. I'll teach your ass.
This
But
fag is coming out. No offense to the fags out there.
first of all, at Roy's defense, he keeps his fags outside of the closet. He likes them that way so he can.
I don't smoke them anymore.
Yeah, actually, at our age, there's not a lot of options there. But
Speak for yourself.
this was
Well, no, you notice that as we got older, when you were young, you could only go for the supermodel type look. The young girls, not like the young girls in school today who are big breasts and big ass, but they're too plump. When we were kids, girls looked like girls.
yeah. You were
But now, as you get older, your standards, as you get older and you go up in age, your standards get lower and lower.
I disagree. I just think that your standards are still high, but they've changed. In other words, appearance is not as important as
No, it's like going to a bar. It's like going to a bar. 9 o'clock. You look. There's a lot of women, and you're trying to, but and going after. You're trying to hit on the good girl,
the
looking
last time
girl.
I went to a bar
Right.
looking for chicks. It was
I'm making an analogy here, a comparison.
come on,
Anyway, so as the night goes on, and you're not getting anybody. All of a sudden, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, that chubby girl over there starts to look better than she did 2 hours ago.
I actually did that. I met this girl. We hung around, and we left the bar. And I brought her. I brought her someplace, and all of a sudden, it was bright out where I was, even though it was like really dark in the bar. And I just said, "Holy shit, this woman is ugly and sick. What the fuck am I doing?" And I basically ran away. But the thing is that first of all, number one, I do not, I do not, I'm not interested in young women. I don't. I
Well,
prefer.
young women aren't interested in you either, so
Well,
that's okay.
that's good because that saves me a lot of trouble. And the other thing is that I think the most important thing now, in regards to a woman, besides the fact that she didn't let herself go to hell, is that uh, character. Character is the most important thing.
As if they can talk to you.
Yes,
The thing about going out with you know, if you're an older man and you're going out with a young girl, there's only so much you can talk about. Then you know, especially if they're a valley girl or something. But
you don't
the
even have
older
to.
ones, they can hold a conversation. Okay.
I'll give you an example. My first wife, who was Colombian, and actually was born in Colombia and brought over to the United States.
That's
And
why she was Colombian.
so one of the things that I noticed is when I mentioned, I made a joke about John Wayne, and she actually went up to me and goes, "Who's John Wayne?" And I realized, holy shit, I have nothing in common with this woman.
Oh, she's not.
But that was the end of that. So yeah, she didn't know who John Wayne was.
Yeah. Look, if you go out with a young girl today and you mention John Wayne, even if she was born here, she won't know who John Wayne is.
That's another reason not to go out with a young girl.
Oh,
They don't.
that's what I'm saying. I'm reinforcing the argument.
You don't know about the Duke.
Well, tell you I do, Pilgrim.
I watched a movie with him recently. I forget. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it was a World War II movie. Uh oh, it was with Henry Fonda. It was Midway, the Battle of Midway.
Oh, he was in Midway.
I think so. Yeah, because
I know he was. I know he was in. Well, everybody was in The Longest Day.
no, he was the Battle of Midway. I think he was in. Um, there was a bunch of people.
Charlton Heston was in that. Charlton Heston was in Midway. The
Yeah.
original Midway, not the one that was remade by Ben Affleck and stuff.
Oh, that was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing.
They remade that.
Yeah,
understand.
the Midway with Ben Affleck, the storyline was for shit. They turned it into a romance, which should have been.
Yeah.
But the scenes of the of Pearl Harbor were
Right.
shocking. They were just like they were amazing. So some of the cinematography was out of this freaking world. It's very uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, Pearl Harbor.
they probably used colorized actual.
See, that's something I
footage.
noticed this year. Nobody talked about Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, that's weird. For us, it's weird, and you know, more. We're getting less and less World War II vets to roll out on Veterans Day and shit. Or on
Understand?
Pearl Harbor Day.
I mean, shit. Come on, man. 1945. What do you expect?
No, I know. I'm saying no. Pearl Harbor was 41.
Well, that's true. But when I think of, I'm 4 years shy. Okay, fine. Shoot me. Okay.
16. I mean, it's over 80 years.
It's a long time, and don't forget, if they were a veteran then, they probably were at least 20 years old. So
Yeah,
that's
17.
years old.
17.
Not a lot
17.
of these guys floating around.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and the funny thing is, when I was born, Pearl Harbor had happened 10 years before.
I had two uncles, and both of them were paratroopers on D-Day.
I got to tell you about paratroopers. Go ahead.
They both paratrooped in on D-Day. They were, and the funny thing is, they couldn't have been more opposite. My one of them was like a shark. It was just like you could tell. It was like you couldn't get anything past him. And the other one was completely laid back. Two complete opposites. Yet they both did the same thing.
Today on Louder with Crowder, they showed some footage. of Ugandan paratroopers parachuting into a stadium, a soccer stadium, before a game. Okay,
Oh, wow.
what a fucking disaster!
Oh, that was a disaster. Okay.
Not one of them hit the fucking the wide open field.
Okay.
Not one. One guy landed on the roof, but then he fell, and the parachute grabbed, and then he fell again, hit something else, and they fell a third time. So he made 3 landings.
This is the reason why in my game Frontline, I don't let you send paratroopers into a city because they paratrooped one bunch of paratroopers into a city by accident, and these guys got screwed.
Yeah.
Fell on
Remember the longest day? Red button stuck on the church.
Bing bong. Yeah, the only
Ding dong, ding dong.
Red Buttons was one of those guys that everybody knew who he was, but nobody knew what the fuck he did. He was like everywhere.
He was a comedian. He was a comedian.
Comedian?
Yeah, he was a stand-up guy, a stand-up
I
comedian.
don't remember
Anyway,
ever
so
telling.
getting back, then they show so the other guys. One guy goes over here and he crashes into a
Church.
bunch of people. Then another guy goes and he crashes somewhere else. Then the last guy crashes. It looked like his back hit the barrier
Yeah.
between the people and an opening here. It looked like, and because then a bunch of people got up and went towards him.
You need to know.
Wait. Then there's another one. That was in Uganda.
Yeah.
Paratroopers.
Which one though?
In Uganda.
Okay. Because
Trying to go to
this
Then they had one. Then they had paratroopers in Nigeria doing a thing, and just like paratrooping, but in fields. But the fields aren't like no. There's like all kinds of scrub grass and this and that, and people are there watching them, and they're coming down. And like you see this one guy, he's coming down, and like he hits, and he boom, face first, he hits, and and it was a mess. These guys were not landing properly. Then they showed a helicopter landing in South Africa. That was the best one. The helicopter is coming down, and it's coming there kind of fast, and like this. And all of a sudden, ropes come down, and 2 guys trying to rappel. They rappel right onto the ground from about 30 feet up. They slam into the ground. And then, on top of that, to add insult to injury, the helicopter lands on them. Okay. But the helicopter didn't just land, it crashed down. And then you see a bunch of guys running out of the thing, and like one guy he's like running and holding his leg and limping, and the other guys are all like they got all shaken up by the landing, right?
Yeah.
And it was just fucking fun.
Well, the thing is that a parachute doesn't give you a soft landing. It gives you a hard landing.
No.
It's, as I understand, as I remember, you have to train to absorb the shock. It's like jumping off a 10 foot high.
People have broken their legs, ankles, and stuff like that.
All the time. Yeah, it's
no, they have to run too. I mean, it's very difficult. Or roll. It's not easy.
No,
there was a guy living in my building here.
If you're a quote unquote whatever paratrooper coming in on 4th of July to make everybody happy, you're not supposed to be a fuck up experience.
No, all 4 of them got fucked up, man.
Yep.
I don't even know if the one guy lived. Anyway, and so there was a guy who lived here when I moved in. He died a few years ago. He had been a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne. No, 82nd or 101st. Which was the one that was stationed in Bastogne? Not Bastogne. The last push where
first.
What?
The 101st sounds familiar to me. I don't know.
Remember where the Germans tried to push through or the Ardennes forest?
You're talking about the Battle of the Bulge.
Battle of the Bulge. Okay, he was at the Battle of the Bulge. I don't remember if it was the 101st or the 82nd he was with. One of those two. But he never talked about it or anything. I mean, I just found out. I happened to find out one day.
Well, I ended up talking to a Polish guy when I was staying at a place called Art Tom's, which was down in what is that? Belmar during the summer, and this guy was a big Polish guy, and he was a veteran of World War II. He was a Polish soldier, but the Germans had grabbed Poland, so they were using the Polish guys on the front line, because they were basically cannon fodder.
Oh, okay.
So when I found that out, I asked him, I said, well, who did you fight? He said, everybody. he said, and the thing is that the Germans were behind him. So if they went to run and get away from the Germans, they would have shot him on the spot. So they were stuck, bad situation.
Yeah, did there come a point where he managed to defect and go to the Allied side?
We never got that far into the conversation. I think the end of the war pretty much solved that problem for him. But he was basically under duress.
All right. Listen, we're at 2 hours, 15 minutes here. Shut up, Alexa.
It's a new world record.
Yeah. So we're going to cut it here now.
Well, wait a second. When Joe Rogan does them, he does them for 3 hours straight sometimes.
Every day. He's also got a contract for $100 million.
Yes. That would definitely motivate me.
We're getting diddly squat here.
I think we're getting more squat than diddly.
Oh, here's that. It's the Wicked Star who's going to play Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes, well, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't I see Roots? Yeah.
What?
It's a joke.
She wasn't in Roots. She probably wasn't even born.
I was a joke.
Oh.
It's the most insulting thing that you could possibly do is put that clown in a Jesus suit. I'm quite sure she's very talented, but she's basically a mascot.
Ooh, Senator Kennedy from Louisiana.
I know what she is. She's a token Jesus.
There you go. Token Jesus. Yeah, they had a character in South Park. Remember the black kid? Token. Yeah, that was his name. Token.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. GOP senator, Senator Kennedy.
Yeah.
From Louisiana.
Yeah.
He's really good, man. He blasts people, man.
I was watching
he does it with that southern accent. Yeah. Anyway, he tortures Sheryl Crow. If she ever had a clever thought, it died alone and afraid.
Yeah, that's an old Southern phrase.
Yeah, he's good. I like him. Oh my God, I don't like this guy. Star Trek actor Robert Picardo, the guy who played the medic in Star Trek, the second Star Trek series with Picard, Captain Picard.
Okay.
This guy says, let's cancel President's Day since Trump has canceled our justice system.
I said, make Washington's birthday again.
Oh, you know that OnlyFans model who slept with 600 men in 2024?
Go ahead.
You heard about this, right?
She wants to do 1,000.
No. Well, yeah, no. She's ready to settle down and find love.
Yeah, well, it's...
You fuck her, you're probably going to need to strap a 2x4 to your back, not to
well, the thing is that...
talk about sloppy seconds. Holy shit.
I have a feeling that her idea of fucking is slide it in once and get out of here. Slide it in once, get out of here. Slide it in once.
Can you imagine? 49. I can see the first guy. I can see the first guy, even the first 3-4 guys go. But imagine if you're number 500.
I think that's a special position. I think that's more meaningful than the first.
Wow. I'd have to wear a hazmat suit to fuck her.
Well, the thing is that I would have to say it's probably not the most hygienic thing to do.
Oh, Spike Lee, the asshole. He's a racist jerk off. Wears a jacket demanding reparations at the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah. I got your reparations.
Wait, is the NBA going to pay reparations to whites who can't play basketball because it's all blacks?
How about the guy who played Captain? What is it, Captain America? He should get reparations for a black man playing it now.
I heard that thing is tanking, man.
Yeah, it tanked.
Oh, Disney's latest sneak peek for Snow White, starring Rachel Ziegler. It got 84,000 dislikes in just 2 days.
Yeah, it's dead. And the thing is that she talks shit about the main character anyway. So not only do people dislike her in that role, but also she dislikes her own character. So she's just a fucking nut job. That's what happens. You know, they say the left eats their own. Well, she eats herself. I mean, if you absolutely hate the character, maybe you shouldn't be playing it. You know, I understand. You know, jobs are hard to come by, especially if you have no talent. So,
You know Zoe Saldana?
Never heard of her.
The actress, Netflix trans cartel musical star Zoe Saldana. I didn't know she was trans, unless I'm confusing her with somebody else.
I'm fucking sick and tired of knowing if somebody's trans.
She dedicates her BAFTA award to transgender nephew. Very nice.
Yeah, it's sweet that she has a nephew that may be a nephew or a niece. We don't know because you don't know.
Oh, Full Metal Jacket star Kevin Major Howard dies at 69. He's the guy with you probably recognize his face.
Yeah.
If I can get it
I saw him already. Yeah.
you know who it is.
Him again.
The blonde guy. Guy.
That was hot news.
Yeah. Sheryl Crow sold her Tesla and donated the money to NPR. Of course. Oh, Harvey Weinstein is suing his brother Bob. Claims he was duped into guaranteeing a $45 million
loan. Supposedly the Epstein files, JFK files, I thought
they were supposed to be out this week.
Well, you did find out about the second shooter.
Oh, Disney's latest Star Wars streaming series sinks without a trace.
Yep. Yeah, woke as
here, Brave New World review. Another Marvel dud.
Oh, here's another one. Did you know Jack Daniels got rid of its DEI section?
Jack Daniels?
Yes, they actually had a DEI. Whatever it is that they do with DEI, they got rid of it. They had a DEI thing in there.
Yeah, they had to hire so many women, so many blacks, so many Hispanics, so many Indians.
No, I think they actually had a bunch of people that was responsible for managing DEI itself, like teaching it and stuff like that.
Oh, DEI education program. All right,
well, whatever.
Bill Maher is like Fetterman. Maher said Trump's right. Penises do not belong in women's prisons or shelters.
Yeah. He's Bill Maher is 60% right nowadays.
Yeah, he still hates Trump, but he's not. Oh, Disney does that to Captain America.
You don't have to like Trump.
Ooh. The Brave New World Rotten Tomatoes critics score among the lowest ever for a Marvel movie.
Okay. Yeah, well, Marvel is...
Oh, they lost their soul. They sold their soul.
It's just like they flooded the market with too much shit. I mean, it's just, how much of that crap can you take?
Yeah.
And the biggest problem is they have these nerds that are so versed in their multiverse that if you put if you put this jar in Doctor Strange's house, they know that doesn't belong there. What? Everybody knows that he's allergic to jars. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. all these peanut allergies. These people. Yeah, who was it was saying the other day? He said real men don't have allergies, right? They just deal with it. He said, imagine you're in a prehistoric times and you're in a cave and you got your woman there and you're supposed to defend her and you're ready to defend her because some animals are coming and all of a sudden somebody throws a peanut into the thing. Ah!
Tina can take you down in a heartbeat.
Not not until about four decades ago.
So how are we on time right now? Because it's almost 11 o'clock.
We're at 2 hours 25 minutes.
I
I'm trying to find some more.
dude,
Yeah.
now I officially think it's time to end this.
Okay.
Unless you want to do 2 hours and 30 minutes just for shits and giggles.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I am holding on.
Hold on. Taylor Swift fans call ICE on mother of Eagles star after Travis Kelce's brutal Super Bowl loss.
Okay, I'm laughing.
People are really fucked up, man.
Mm.
All right. Anyway, I think. Oh, Dana Carvey, Michael, and David Spade. They're finally mocking Joe Biden and Zelensky. Okay. Anyway, we're going to say goodnight here.
Good night.
And we'll see you next time. We'll be back in 2 days, hopefully, with a guest.
Hopefully this whole thing uploaded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me hold on. Let me stop that.